Part 22. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 211. That is a great demon with the strength of a saint. Even Li Jing and Guo Ziyi couldn't help but feel a little wary in their hearts when they noticed that the two great demons had awakened. After all, these big demons have existed in Yaotang longer than them. But the reality is that the Red Ghost Monkey King and the Blue-Faced Monkey King were suppressed instantly without even taking a move. Such thunderous methods made Li Jing and Guo Ziyi feel cold in their hearts. And Lu Jin looked at the demon-suppressing pagoda in his hand, the smile in his eyes not concealed at all. It's quite interesting. It's no wonder he is Yaotang. Unexpectedly, there are actually two demon saint-level existences in this wilderness. This is quite an unexpected surprise. In the demon-suppressing pagoda, the Red Ghost Monkey King and the Green-Faced Monkey King were trapped in a cage. They looked at the monsters imprisoned in cages one after another around them, and a biting chill could not help but rise in their hearts. What exactly is this place? It looks like it should be a place where monsters are imprisoned. Damn it! They are ancient demon saints. How can they be compared with these beasts? Ignorant child, I am the great sage Red Ghost, an ancient demon. It's just a cage, do you think you can trap me? When I break the seal, I will crush you to ashes. After hearing these words, the three-legged golden crow and Yamata no Orokai next door closed their eyelids again. Recently, the holder of this demon-suppressing pagoda has become more and more terrifying. Even the sleeping ancient demons in Demon Tang were suppressed. I don't know what kind of terrifying existence will come in the next crackdown. Thinking of this, the three-legged golden crow and Yamata no Orokai only felt a shudder. Perhaps one day, the entire demon suppression pagoda will be filled with saint-level monsters. Just thinking about it makes me feel so horrible. At this moment, in the outside world, Lu Jin was holding the demon-suppressing pagoda, standing in the air and looking down. Originally, he came here with the demon suppression pagoda this time to force Li Jing and Guo Ziyi to complete the demonization and become monsters. After the two became monsters, they were at least demon saint-level beings. In addition, as both of them were demon generals, their demonized bloodline must still have a trace of the bloodline of the mythical beast. If it is suppressed into the pagoda, whether it is refined into a demon soul or driven, it is a good choice. As for Li Jing and Guo Ziyi, looking at Lu Jin holding the demon-suppressing pagoda in the air, they felt as if a huge mountain was weighing down their hearts. A desperate and powerful suffocating feeling. General Li, how should we respond next? Guo Ziyi looked at Li Jing behind him. Even Li Jing couldn't help but break into a cold sweat at this moment. What to do? Faced with a terrifying and powerful man who can suppress the demon saint with just a raise of his hand, what should I do? How could I know? At this moment, Lu Jing glanced at the god of death Bai Qi. The god of death Bai Qi understood immediately. He took a step forward, and before Guo Ziyi could react, he was already in front of Guo Ziyi. Guo Ziyi's heart tightened, and she was really ready to mobilize the true energy in her body. But suddenly, Guo Ziyi felt her throat tighten. His eyes widened and he couldn't believe it. Bai Qi, the god of death, strangled his neck tightly, and the smile on his face fell into Guo Ziyi's eyes, looking particularly sinister. It's time, let's speed up the process of this battle. Boom. Bai Qi, the god of death, punched Guo Ziyi in the chest. Guo Ziyi suddenly opened his mouth and spit out a mouthful of blood. But the next second, the killing god Bai Qi, with quick eyes and quick hands, force-fed a pill to Guo Ziyi. Feeling the elixir dissolving in his body, an extremely violent medicinal power raged in his body. Guo Ziyi's eyes were red and she looked at Bai Qi, the god of death, almost desperately. She can't be killed. What kind of pill did you give me? It's nothing, it's just the demon transforming elixir you have. Demon transformation pill. Guozi felt the demon soul constantly stirring in his body, and he looked at Bai Qi, the god of death. What is he doing? The demon transformation pill is a pill that enhances the degree of fusion between oneself and the demon soul. If you take the demon transformation pill to yourself, isn't it a way to improve your cultivation level in disguise? But at this time, Guozi suddenly looked at Lu Jin in the sky. At this moment, he suddenly understood. The other party wanted to speed up his demonization, and after he was completely transformed into a monster, he would be subdued into the demon-suppressing pagoda. Thinking of this, Guozi only felt a sense of humiliation. Damn it! What do you think I am? Roar! Guozi immediately released the confinement of his soul. The demon soul of the Destiny Azure Dragon begins to merge with his own soul at an accelerated rate. Dragon horns sprouted from his head. The teeth are starting to turn into fangs. Go to hell! Boom! Guozi suddenly kicked Bai Qi, the god of death. With a loud noise, the ground within a radius of 10 miles instantly turned into powder. In the smoke and dust, the red light of the beast suddenly appeared. How is this possible? A destiny blue dragon rises into the sky. After this blow fell, Tianming Qinglong fainted directly. Another loud noise. But when the smoke cleared, a feeling of powerlessness suddenly came over me. Whoosh! The dragon horns on its head were broken off, and it looked even more miserable. Boom! What? Aren't you going to take action yet? Seeing this, Lu Jin directly used the demon-suppressing pagoda to collect it. There was another loud noise, and the violent wind and waves swept the true energy across 100 miles. Roar! The green dragon halberd fell with one blow. In the huge pit, Guozi's incarnation as the Destiny Azure Dragon lay paralyzed in the center, half dead. But Bai Qi, the god of death, only raised his right foot. Li Jing clenched his fists, and an unspeakable sense of humiliation surged into his heart. Li Jing could not clearly see the situation on the battlefield. Boom! Immediately afterwards, a series of terrifying auras erupted from the smoke. At this moment, only a trace of undetectable human auras still remains on Tianming Qinglong. But he already had the demon transformation pill in his hand, and once Guozi fell into a disadvantage, he immediately went to support him. Judging from the current situation, he should be able to deal with the Longhan general. The 200,000 elite troops dare not make any rash move in front of these two people. Li Jing couldn't help but feel worried when he saw this scene. The scales all over Tianming Qinglong's body exuded a gem-like brilliance under the movement of true energy. And on its huge dragon head, the god of death Bai Qi stood on it. There was a smile on his face, and his eyes towards Li Jing were full of mockery. Tianming Qinglong wanted to raise his head and continue to resist. Animals should look like animals. The next second, the Destiny Blue Dragon fell straight down like a shooting star. Because he knew very well that if Guozi could gain so much strength in a short period of time, the price he would pay would be huge. Boom! With one kick, the head of Tianming Qinglong was stepped into the ground again, accompanied by a dragon roar. After subduing the Destiny Azure Dragon, Lu Jin set his sights on Li Jing. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 212. A scholar can be killed but not humiliated. Longhan bullied others too much. Li Jing roared angrily, and even the 200,000 elite troops behind him roared unwillingly. Who among them in Yaotang is not the best among the best? A role model for others in daily life and an object of envy for others. But in Lu Jin's eyes, they were like a group of lambs waiting to be slaughtered. It would be better for the jade to be broken than for the whole tile to be intact. The entire army will take demon blood. With an order, Li Jing ordered everyone to take demon blood immediately. Lu Jin was a little curious as he watched the 200,000 strong army move in unison. Demon blood? What kind of novelty is this? Lu Jin watched helplessly as all the 200,000 troops drank the demon blood. Even Li Jing himself took the demon transformation pill. It seems that he is planning to fight tooth and nail. As the demon blood was taken, the 200,000 elite army suddenly erupted with an astonishing aura. Originally only a third-grade legion's strength, after taking the demon blood, it soared directly to the level of a second-grade legion. In fact, this aura is still soaring, and there is a faint tendency to touch the first-grade legion. Seeing this scene, Lu Jin couldn't help but touch his chin. Something. This demon blood can actually increase the strength of the legion so much. If I can get the formula of this demon blood and then refine it, maybe I can use it to improve my troops. It's hard to imagine if one of his first-grade soldiers drank demon blood. Maybe its strength can break through and enter the first-level realm. Thinking of this, a hint of interest appeared in Lu Jin's eyes. Bai Qi, take action. Lu Jin gave the order, and the killing god Bai Qi was ready and rushed directly towards Li Jing. And Li Jing looked at the killing god Bai Qi, who was getting closer and closer, and roared angrily. Roar! A shadow appeared behind Li Jing, and it turned out to be a huge black turtle with a shell of thorns on its back. Thorn black turtle. This is Li Jing's demon soul. The god of death Bai Qi sneered, and when he raised his hand, the demonic killing sword struck directly on the phantom of the thorn turtle. When suddenly, the smile on the god of death's white face disappeared. He could feel that his demonic killing sword couldn't break through Li Jing's demon soul defense. Li Jing sneered, my demon soul thorn black turtle's defense is unrivaled in the world. You guys, you are not overestimating your own abilities. The true energy bursts out. The phantom of the thorn turtle directly launched the killing god Bai Qi away. Seeing the god of death Bai Qi being thrown away, Lu Jin's eyes also showed a glimmer of light. Interesting. Just now, the killing god Bai Qi must have used the strength of the immortal realm. But with the strength of the immortal realm, coupled with the killing demon sword, he couldn't even break through the defense of the thorn turtle. It seems that what Li Jing said is indeed true. The defense of this thorn black turtle is really strong. Seeing that he could not break through the black tortoise's defense, the god of death Bai Qi was a little angry for a moment. Lu Jin was still present. He was a being in the immortal realm, but he was actually blocked by the saint realm. Isn't this embarrassing? For a moment, the god of death Bai Qi also put away his contempt. Divine power mobilized. The godhead rotates. A scarlet evil aura rose around the body of the god of death Bai Qi. The evil spirit wrapped around the body of the killing devil sword, and the killing devil sword suddenly became powerful. The previous blow was because I underestimated you. I just don't know if your turtle shell can block this blow. Cut. The god of death Bai Qi swung out with one blow. The scarlet sword energy went straight towards Li Jing. Seeing such an ominous sword energy approaching, Li Jing immediately understood that it was definitely not something he could withstand alone. Soldiers, give me a helping hand. 200,000 soldiers released their true energy one after another. The violent energy was absorbed by Li Jing like a whirlpool. At this moment, the shadow of the thorn turtle became extremely solid. Boom! On one side is a strike injected with divine power by Bai Qi, the immortal realm killing god. On one side are the 200,000 elites of the Demon Tang dynasty and the saint-level Li Jing, who are desperately resisting. The forces on both sides collided violently. Accompanied by a loud noise, violent shockwaves of true energy spread directly. Li Jing spit out a mouthful of blood and flew backwards. 200,000 elites were directly killed and injured, and even worse, they lost control and transformed into monsters, biting the surrounding colleagues wantonly. Looking at the chaotic battlefield, Lu Jin looked at the god of death Bai Qi. Although Bai Qi, the god of death, was not harmed in any way, his eyes were fixed on Li Jing. He originally thought that his blow was enough to kill Li Jing. But unexpectedly, This Li Jing actually had a violent demonization reaction at this time. Turtle shells sprouted from the upper body. The tortoise shell saved his life. But it only saved his life. Lu Jin fell to the ground, looking at Li Jing, who was still demonizing even in a coma, and couldn't help but shake his head and sigh. If you had used the demon transforming pill I made, you wouldn't have ended up like this. When Li Jing was completely demonized, Lu Jin directly used the demon suppressing pagoda. The suppression is over. Lu Jin looked at the thorn black turtle and the destiny azure dragon in the demon suppressing pagoda, refining them into demon souls. Lu Jin had no intention of subduing them. After all, he had learned that there were many sleeping demon saints in the demon Tang kingdom. He only needs to subdue those demon saints to fill the vacancy of the demon suppressing pagoda. Moreover, if you just suppress it, you will not be able to get rewards from the system. Sure enough, when the three big demons in the demon suppressing pagoda were refined into demon souls, Lu Jin also received a notification sound from the system. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the famous character Guo Zi. Here's your reward, a golden legendary demon saint treasure chest. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the famous character Li Jing. Here's your reward, a golden legendary demon saint treasure chest. 2 golden legendary treasure chests. Lu Jin put these 2 treasure boxes into his backpack. Then, Lu Jin looked at Bai Qi, the god of death, who was slaughtering an army of 200,000 people. Even if Bai Qi, the god of killing, is in existence in the immortal realm, it will still take a certain amount of time to kill an army of 200,000. Taking advantage of this period of time, Lu Jin decisively chose to open these 2 treasure chests. Ding! Do you want to spend 500,000 gold coins to upgrade the golden legendary demon saint treasure chest to the golden legendary demon saint treasure chest? How many? 500,000 gold coins. System, you are crazy about money. You charge me 500,000 gold coins to upgrade a golden legendary treasure chest. Answer, this system is flawless and ensures that every gold coin spent by the Lord is worth the money. Lu Jin waved his hand. Anyway, he was not short of such a little money now. Moreover, I have never lost money when upgrading treasure chests before. Upgrade. Ding! Congratulations on getting the golden legendary treasure chest of 10,000 monsters. Ding! Congratulations on getting the golden legendary treasure chest of 10,000 monsters. Both treasure chests have been upgraded to 10,000 demons treasure chests. Lu Jin decisively chose to open the box. He wanted to see if this treasure box of 10,000 monsters was worth it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 213. Ding! Congratulations on successfully obtaining the special event prop event order. Ding! Congratulations on successfully obtaining the special prop random mission scroll. Ding! Congratulations on successfully obtaining the special building Demon Soul Palace. Along with Lu Jin, he opened 2 golden legendary treasure chests. A series of system prompts sounded in Lu Jin's ears. Originally, Lu Jin was not very interested in this golden legendary treasure chest. However, when he saw the series of special words, he froze on the spot. Are they all special items? This 10,000 demons treasure box is a bit interesting. The corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly, revealing an interesting smile. He picked up the activity order first. He was no stranger to activity orders. He didn't expect that after many days, he would actually obtain this thing again. Putting away the activity order, Lu Jin planned to use this activity order again after returning to Qianlong City. If you get any unbelievable bonus event, it will be a big bonus for your hidden dragon city. Putting away the activity order, Lu Jin focused on the second item. Random mission scroll. Lu Jin knew the function of this prop without even looking at it. The mission scroll is naturally a prop for accepting missions. He now has an adventure mission, but there is no guidance for this adventure mission. The only clue he knows is to improve Bai Chi's strength. Maybe this mission can be completed until Bai Chi breaks through and enters the realm of gods and humans. Ding, do you want to use the random mission scroll? Use. For a moment, a lottery panel appeared on Lu Jin. Colorful lights represent tasks of different difficulty. From the lowest level white quality quests to the highest quality golden legendary quests. Ding. As a golden light appeared, a mission reminder sounded in Lu Jin's ears. Ding, congratulations on successfully accepting the golden legendary mission, the presence of 100 demons. Task name: 100 demons prevail. Task difficulty: golden legend level. Task conditions: conquer 100 monsters. Mission details: the higher the level of the monster you conquer, the stronger its overall strength, and the more generous the final mission reward will be. Task progress 0/100. Task punishment: none. Oh. No mission penalty? That'll be fine. Lu Jin put away the mission panel and actually drew a golden legendary mission. It is also a mission without mission penalty. Just as it happens, doesn't this demon Tang claim to have hundreds of great demons sleeping? If I can subdue these big monsters, I will definitely be able to complete this golden legendary mission with the highest rating. Finally, Lu Jin set his sights on a special building, the Demon Soul Palace. This Demon Soul Palace is a special building and needs to be released in order to check its specific attributes. Therefore, Lu Jin just glanced at it and did not continue to look at it. Next, Lu Jin glanced at the attributes of other items. There are still some good things in it, and Lu Jin is quite satisfied with this treasure chest of 10,000 monsters. When he returns to Longhan, he will digest these rewards one by one. Now that the enemy is facing us, we don't know when the kingdom of God will come. Lu Jin must seize every opportunity to become stronger. At this time, a breeze came, carrying the extremely strong smell of blood and entering Lu Jin's nose. When Lu Jin looked up in the direction of the Demon Tang army again, most of the Demon Tang army had been slaughtered. The remaining Demon Tang army, without exception, were all frightened by the behavior of the killing god Bai Chi. I saw Bai Chi, the god of killing, like a tiger entering a flock of sheep, killing them wantonly. An hour later, the 200,000 elite army had been killed by the killing god Bai Chi. And the 200,000 elite troops were killed by the killing god Bai Chi, and the attribute points they obtained reached an extremely terrifying level. At this moment, the killing god Bai Chi was exuding an extremely terrifying aura. When the god of death Bai Chi killed the last soldier, he couldn't help but let out a long sigh of relief. These soldiers are indeed elite. Killing 200,000 elites will give them as much power as killing 1,000,000 troops. Feeling the surging power in his body, the god of death Bai Chi laughed loudly, unable to conceal his inner joy. Lu Jin looked at the killing god Bai Chi in the center of the battlefield, as if he noticed something, and looked towards one of them. But following Lu Jin's gaze, he only saw an empty battlefield and corpses all over the ground. Seeing this, the god of death Bai Chi walked up to Lu Jin and followed his gaze with some doubts. "What is your majesty looking at?" The corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly, and he turned around to leave. "It's okay, it's just an illusion." Seeing that Lu Jin didn't say anything, the god of death Bai Chi didn't ask any more questions. And just when they were about to leave, the space was distorted. A sharp blade suddenly appeared behind Lu Jin. "You alone have the guts to assassinate me." Raising his hand, Lu Jin turned around and grabbed the assassin's blade. The assassin's eyes widened and he couldn't believe it. The opponent actually grabbed his weapon with his bare hands. Although his weapons cannot be said to be magical weapons, they are not ordinary weapons either. But the other party just caught it with bare hands. The assassin simply gave up his weapon and took a few steps back. Before he could get down, the god of death Bai Chi suddenly appeared beside him. Boom! The god of death Bai Chi punched out. The assassin resisted and flew backwards several meters away. Seeing that the assassin only flew a few meters away, the god of death Bai Chi began to doubt his own strength for the second time. How can it be? Is it possible that the other party is also in the immortal realm? At this time, the assassin on the other side took off his disguise. Lu Jin was a little surprised when he saw his appearance. Xuerongui. The other party saw the look of surprise in Lu Jin's eyes and couldn't help but laugh. My name is Xuerongui, but I am different from that good-for-nothing Yao Tang. I come from the Tang dynasty, which is a higher plane. Everyone in my dynasty can become an immortal. This demon Xuerongui from the Tang dynasty is so virtuous and capable that he can be compared with me. Xuerongui from other worlds. Lu Jin looked at Xuerongui in front of him. The Xuerongui in front of him was actually summoned. So, who summoned him? With a cultivation level in the immortal realm, could it be that Demon Tang also has an European emperor? While Lu Jin was thinking, Xuerongui on the opposite side pointed at Lu Jin's arm and said, "After telling you so much, haven't you noticed that your arm has been poisoned? I've coated the blade with a poison that even a practitioner in the immortal realm can't get rid of. If you want to blame me, it's your fault. If you had discovered me earlier, why would I have been poisoned like this?" Looking at Xuerongui opposite, Lu Jin smiled faintly. "Who told you I was poisoned?" Lu Jin opened his palms, and there was no sign of poisoning on his palms. But Xuerongui looked at Lu Jin's palm, and there were clearly traces of the blade. "Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms." Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 214. Logically speaking, such a wound should have caused death long ago. Xuerongui is still extremely confident about the poison he uses. But the poison he had tried many times had lost its effect on Lu Jin. But at this time, the killing god Bai Chi strikes again. Killing demonic sword. Cut. With the sword slashed out, a sinister look flashed in Xuerongui's eyes. As he waved his hand, a large amount of medicinal powder floated in the air. The moment he saw these medicinal powders, the god of death Bai Chi suddenly felt a life and death crisis rushing into his heart. Infuriating mobilization. Call. As the true energy burst out, the medicinal powders were blown away by the true energy. The god of death Bai Chi took a few steps back and watched the medicinal powder gradually fall to the ground. In an instant, the vegetation withered. This is enough to show how toxic the medicinal powder is. Every lord of Yaotang that I have ever seen is an upright person. This is the first time I've seen a drug-using scoundrel like you. Bai Chi, the god of death, looked at Xuerongui with contempt in his eyes. Xuerongui looked at the god of death Bai Chi and also responded with an extremely mocking smile. Using poison means being obscene. When we meet on the battlefield, you and I are fighting for our lives. The winner writes history, the loser becomes a rebel. The winner has the final say in this world. I will do whatever it takes to win. Besides, why did I ever say that I am only good at using poison? After saying that, Xuerongui raised his hand, and a strange Fangtian painted halberd appeared in his hand. Fangtian's painted halberd fell to the ground, and the whole ground trembled. The earth is cracked. This is enough to illustrate the astonishing weight of this Fangtian painted halberd. When Xuerongui took out Fangtian's painted halberd and prepared to compete with him in martial arts, Bai Chi, the god of death, was overjoyed. If it were a competition of martial arts, why would he be afraid? Thinking of this, Bai Chi, the god of death, directly raised the killing demon sword in his hand and arrived in front of Xuerongui in a blink of an eye. Unexpectedly, Xuerongui showed a smile on his face. Behind him, a ghostly shadow appeared. At this time, Lu Jin saw clearly that the shadow behind Xuerongui in front of him was actually a white snake. White Snake Shwerongwi. Although they have the same name as the two Shwerongwi from back then, their rules of conduct and fighting methods are completely opposite. Damn it! You despicable and nasty person! The god of death Bai Chi roared angrily. Just when the two weapons collided, a poisonous mist spurted out from the Fangtian painted halberd in the hand of the white snake Shwerongwi. The poisonous mist spread, and the killing god Bai Chi was caught off guard and was directly contaminated by the poisonous mist. Seeing Bai Chi, the god of death, being eroded by the poisonous mist, white snake Shwerongwi sneered. His attack suddenly became extremely fierce, and Fang Tian's painted halberd in his hand drew out after images. At this time, Bai Chi, the god of death, understood. The man in front of me does have martial arts skills, but he is extremely unscrupulous in his actions. I am too naive. At this time, it was very difficult for Bai Chi, the god of death, to be contaminated by the poisonous mist. He had to mobilize part of his true energy and energy to suppress the poisonous invasion. But White Snake Shwerongwi obviously knew it, so his attacks were all killer moves. Pressing forward step by step, the killing god Bai Chi, who was originally at the upper hand, was now being suppressed at every turn and was already at a disadvantage. One blow fell. White Snake Shwerongwi aimed his attack at the vital point of Bai Chi, the god of death. But at this moment, a big hand suddenly entered the battlefield. Bai Chi, you were careless this time. The battlefield is a place where life is fought, and you actually try to let the enemy compete with you on the same stage. Stand down from this battle. The one who took action was none other than Lu Jin. Lu Jin's palm was seen tightly grasping White Snake Shwerongwi's Fangtian painted halberd. White Snake Shwerongwi looked solemn. He mobilized his true energy and poured it into Fangtian's painted halberd. But at this moment, Lu Jin let go of his hand. As he raised his hand, his true energy condensed, and he hit Fangtian's painted halberd directly. Two completely different chi collided in Fangtian's painted halberd. A click. A crack actually appeared on the surface of Fangtian's painted halberd. Seeing this crack, White Snake Shwerongwi's expression changed. He withdrew Fangtian's painted halberd and looked at Lu Jin with burning eyes. You are not human. Hearing these words, Lu Jin felt ashamed. Why does it sound so much like a curse? White Snake Shwerongwi continued, at first I thought there was something wrong with my poison. But in the battle with your subordinate just now, he was just contaminated by the poisonous mist, so he had to mobilize his true energy to suppress it. He is like this even in the immortal realm, but you are unscathed. It's not my poison's problem, that's your problem. After listening to the words of White Snake Shwerongwi, Lu Jin couldn't help but applaud the person in front of him. The analysis is pretty good. That's right. The Lu Jin standing here now is just a god puppet created by Lu Jin. Lu Jin's body is still cultivating in the time and space palace. But White Snake Shwerongwi may not know that the real person here is not Lu Jin. Only then did he have such an opportunity to fight against the god puppet. The puppet god Lu Jin raised his right hand and hooked provocatively towards the White Snake Shwerongwi. What a strong fairy-level aura! The entire Demon Tang dynasty was trembling, and even the Demon Tang king in the palace could not help but change his face slightly. I must bring the information to His Majesty. So far, the results of all the battles have been that the Longhan regiment destroyed the Demon Tang. Qinglong on the left, Suangi on the right. The god puppet of the immortal realm. Since you are so shameless, I will no longer be such a gentleman. Shouldn't there be a big fight next? As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Jin raised his hand and a demonic spirit appeared behind him. The pinnacle of immortal realm. Lu Jin punched White Snake Shwerongwi, and White Snake Shwerongwi sensed the pressure contained in this punch. The true energy was poured into Lu Jin's body. Both are existences in the fairyland. Therefore, the information he has obtained now is particularly important. But because of this, you are more difficult to deal with than the previous ones. And White Snake Xuerongui has his own plan, and he has collected enough information in this battle. Destiny Qinglong. The phantom of the demon soul is staring more and more closely. But at this moment, Lu Jin's figure appeared in front of the White Snake Xuerongui. Did I lose it? So, the next thing to compare is who is more skilled. These are extremely important messages and must be brought back. This scene shocked Lu Jin and the god of death Bai Qi. He knew very well that if he didn't resist with all his strength, he would definitely die here. 1 point more is not much, 1 point less is not much. Who knows, the next second, the White Snake Xuerongui turns around and runs away. And that man with Godhead. Among them, I don't even know a single bit of intelligence information. Snake scales adhered to Xuerongui's surface. Xuerongui raised the Fang Tian Huaji in his hand and forcefully received Lu Jin's punch. With a wave of his hand, tens of thousands of yin and yang stones floated behind Lu Jin. You kid, you are so shameless and despicable. Boom. The white snake demon soul appears. Thorn black turtle. Huge infuriating pressure swept across. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 215. Such a powerful immortal aura, look at the direction, it is the direction of Shen Haiguan. But the monarch of Demon Tang dynasty knew very well that among all the people he sent, only the white snake Xuerongui has the aura of the immortal realm. Now that he is releasing such a huge aura, he must have encountered an opponent of the same level. Long Han, there are also masters in the immortal realm. The demon king of Tang dynasty was amazed in his heart. This Long Han was too beyond his expectation. But the demon king of Tang changed his mind and felt relieved. White Snake Xuerongui once fought for our demon Tang dynasty. In terms of experience, he is stronger than the generals of demon Tang dynasty. No matter how powerful Long Han is, White Snake Xuerongui can still escape unscathed no matter how bad he is. As long as he can return safely, I must know Long Han's true strength. After being in contact with Long Han for so long, Monarch Tang still knew nothing about Long Han. And this time, White Snake Xuerongui was sent there to be prepared. He is bound to uncover the mystery of Long Han. But what the Demon King Tang didn't know was that at this moment, the white snake Xuerongui looked at the demon beasts around him with an ugly expression. Hundreds of demonic beasts were entrenched around him. Lu Jin stood in the air, and the true energy in the yin-yang stone continued to enter his body. The god puppet's cultivation is always at the peak of the immortal realm. And the monster-suppressing pagoda in his hand was still releasing monsters one after another. One of the monsters attacked, and White Snake Xuerongui slashed it out with one strike. Blood splattered everywhere, and the White Snake Xuerongui easily killed a monster. After all, these monsters only have the strength of the first level, or beyond the first level. As a military commander in the immortal realm, it is not easy to kill these monsters. But these monsters don't seem to know fear. They act like mad dogs every time they come up, and they don't know what fear is at all. The difference in combat power between violent monsters and ordinary monsters is not even a tiny bit. The most important thing is that these monsters seem to be endless. If you kill one yourself, another one will come and kill you. White Snake Xuerongui glanced at Lu Jin in the air and couldn't help but taunted him. With these lowly beasts, do you think you can make me surrender? I didn't expect that Long Han's methods would be so cruel. When I kill all these monsters, I will definitely take your heads. Hearing these words, Lu Jin smiled lightly and did not take them into consideration at all. Lu Jin drove the monster-suppressing pagoda and released the monsters inside again. All these monsters were enslaved by Lu Jin, who would drive them into a state of madness with just a thought and attack the enemy desperately. As for the monster beasts in the monster suppression pagoda, I had specially collected them before. It includes almost all the high-level monsters in Long Han. The number is terrifying. In the demon suppression pagoda, The Yamata no Orokai and the three-legged golden crow watched the demon beasts being released one after another. The two monsters looked confused. What happened? I don't know. First, the thorn black turtle and the destiny azure dragon were refined into demon souls. Now that so many monsters have been released, something terrible may happen to the outside world. That's all. It's just a big deal, and it has nothing to do with us. It doesn't matter as long as we are not refined into cultivation or demon souls. I always have a bad feeling. I feel like a big shot is going to be arrested soon. Ha ha ha, boss. What boss? We are demon saints. This demon suppressing pagoda can only hold demon beasts. What kind of demon beast can be bigger than us? Yamata no Orokai lazily turned over and huddled himself in the cell. The three-legged golden crow thought about it and realized that this was indeed the path. Therefore, the three-legged golden crow also chose to show off. In this way, more and more monsters were released. Whitesnake Shwerongwi didn't know how many monsters he had killed. He only knew that his body temperature was getting lower and lower. He could feel the snake scales starting to spread on his body. The white snake demon soul in his body is constantly devouring his soul. No. If he continues like this, he will not be able to defeat the god puppet Lu Jin in front of him before he is completely demonized. Roar. At this moment, not even the white snake Shwerongwi noticed it. His voice has turned into the roar of a wild beast. The next second, he sprinkled a large amount of powder directly from his cuffs. The powder spread almost instantly, covering his figure. After the violent monster absorbed the powder, it immediately began to wail in pain. Seizing this opportunity, Whitesnake Shwerongwi rushed out of the circle of monsters and attacked Lu Jin directly. Seeing the Whitesnake Shwerongwi attacking, the corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly. I thought it would take a while. Now it seems that I think highly of you. At this moment, Whitesnake Shwerongwi couldn't listen to any words at all. He only knew that he should try his best. One blow fell. Boom. The next second, Whitesnake Shwerongwi felt his arms go numb. The severe pain made him wake up for a moment. He saw his fanged yen painted halberd falling in front of Lu Jin, but he couldn't get any closer. The phantom of the thorn turtle enveloped Lu Jin. Lu Jin smiled faintly, raised his hand, and the destiny blue dragon appeared. Boom. Another punch. This punch was so powerful that even Whitesnake Shwerongwi felt frightened. Following a burst of huge force, the Whitesnake Shwerongwi flew hundreds of meters away. Lu Jin looked at the smoke and dust in the distance and began to make calculations in his mind. Judging from their previous levels of demonization, Whitesnake Shwerongwi is almost completely demonized. He was delayed for so long by the monster he recruited. Just now, I mobilized my true energy with all my strength, and was severely injured by myself. In this case, no matter how tough his soul is, it will be completely swallowed by the white snake soul. As expected. Hiss. Among the rubble on the mountain, a white snake rose into the sky. But after the white snake saw Lu Jin, it turned around and prepared to escape without any hesitation. Shwerongwi is him, Shwerongwi, and now he is a white snake. Fairy level white snake. No matter where he goes, he is a first-class existence. Isn't he seeking death by confronting Lu Jin? But how could Lu Jin let it go so easily? As soon as he raised his hand, the demon-suppressing pagoda flew directly over. The white snake ran away desperately, but the shadow of the demon-suppressing pagoda came to its head in an instant. Exalted Immortal, have mercy on me. Immortal, please have mercy on me. If it's useful to spare my life, what do you need my demon-suppressing pagoda for? Suppression. Boom. The demon-suppressing pagoda fell directly, suppressing the white snake inside. After subduing and suppressing the white snake, Lu Jin took the demon-suppressing pagoda back into his palm. At this moment, the demon king of Tang dynasty in Chang'an city suddenly felt a thump in his heart. An ominous premonition came to my mind. But then he comforted himself, White Snake Xuerongui was in the immortal realm, how could something happen? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 216. But at this moment, the White Snake Demon Fairy is entrenched in the prison of the Demon Suppression Pagoda. The White Snake Fairy mobilized all his energy and struck the barrier one blow after another. There was a huge sound throughout the Demon Suppression Pagoda. It's a pity that no matter how hard it struggles, the entire Demon Suppression Pagoda will not suffer any damage. Instead, its attack will turn into a large amount of infuriating energy, which will feed the entire Demon Suppressing Pagoda. The Demon Suppressing Pagoda will only become stronger and stronger under the warmth of the true energy, and the prison will become stronger. But the Yamata no Orokai and the three-legged golden crow, the two handlers of the Demon Suppressing Pagoda, didn't even dare to take a breath at this moment. As the three-legged golden crow said before, a big boss really came to the Demon Suppressing Pagoda. A fairy-level existence. They can hardly believe it. Monsters of this level are actually imprisoned in the Monster Suppression Pagoda. In the outside world, Lu Jin has returned to Qianlong City with the Demon Suppression Pagoda. When the god puppet Lu Jin landed in front of the Time and Space Palace, Lu Jin's body also appeared at the door of the Time and Space Palace. Bai Qi, the god of death next to him, couldn't help but feel a sense of awe in his heart when he saw Lu Jin. The moment he saw Lu Jin again after many days, the godhead in him was actually afraid. Lu Jin, who is in the demigod realm, controls the supreme godhead. In terms of combat power, ordinary gods and humans are no match for him. But now Lu Jin truly feels that he finally has the power to protect himself. Lu Jin looked at the god puppet in front of him. He raised his hand and put the god puppet into his backpack. Together with the Demon Suppressing Pagoda in the hands of the god puppet, Lu Jin took it back. The White Snake Demon Fairy in the Demon Suppression Pagoda is still working tirelessly to attack the cage barrier. But at this moment, the White Snake Fairy noticed a familiar aura. It's Lu Jin who is investigating the Demon Suppressing Pagoda. Damn human being. When I get out, I will cut you into pieces. Oh. After entering the Demon Suppressing Pagoda, are you still so arrogant? Lu Jin sneered and raised his hand. A wisp of breath went directly into the Demon Suppressing Pagoda. The Demon Suppressing Pagoda is activated. In an instant, Lu Jin's aura was amplified countless times, directly covering the body of the White Snake Fairy. The White Snake Fairy's words stopped abruptly. This breath is the breath of gods. It's the genuine aura of a god. What's the situation? Obviously I had fought with him before, but this person only had the aura of the immortal realm. But now, he not only possesses the coercion of the demigod realm, but his chi also carries the aura of a god. What happened? How dare you act so arrogantly even if you are a mere prisoner? As soon as he finished speaking, the prison where the White Snake Demon Fairy was located began to shrink. The prison kept shrinking, finally squeezing the White Snake Fairy into a small space and unable to move. Squeak. A heartbreaking voice sounded. The Yamata no Orokai and the three-legged golden crow felt their hearts tremble. Under such torture and oppression, the White Snake Fairy could not even scream. The two didn't want to suffer such torture, so they buried their heads deeply. Can't see me, can't see me. After teaching the White Snake Demon Fairy a lesson, the White Snake Demon Fairy was directly hit hard. Once it enters the Demon Suppressing Pagoda, its fate is not decided by it. Lu Jin withdrew his consciousness and no longer paid attention to the situation of the Demon Suppressing Pagoda. Nowadays, most of the prisons in the Demon Suppression Pagoda are empty. It is time for me to start collecting another wave of monsters. Afterwards, Lu Jin first came to an open space. He released the Demon Soul Palace, and a large hall suddenly appeared in the open space. After the main hall appeared, Lu Jin set his sights above the Demon Soul Hall. Now he was finally able to check the specific attributes of this special building, Demon Soul Palace. Name: Demon Soul Palace. Quality: special construction. Effect 1. The Demon Soul is immortal. The Demon Soul can be consumed to summon the special unit Holy Soul Guard. The Demon Soul Palace will not disappear, and the Holy Soul Guard will not die. Effect 2. Demon Soul Magic Weapon. You can consume Demon Souls to refine the special weapon Demon Soul Magic Weapon. Effect 3. Demon Soul Possession. The Demon Soul can be purified and turned into a pure Demon Soul that can be driven at will. Effect 4. Unlocked after consuming 100 Demon Souls. Looking at the properties of Demon Soul Palace, Lu Jin couldn't help but his eyes lit up. Immortal Holy Soul Guard. This fact made Lu Jin very excited. After thinking for a moment, Lu Jin remembered the White Snake Demon Fairy in the Demon Suppressing Pagoda. In this case, let's use it as an experiment. Refining the White Snake Fairy. In an instant, a demon spirit at the level of a demon fairy appeared in Lu Jin's hand. Lu Jin didn't hesitate at all and directly injected the Demon Soul into the Demon Soul Palace. Ding! Do you want to spend 100,000 gold coins to speed up the birth of the Holy Soul Guard? 100,000 gold coins. Lu Jin looked at the White Snake Holy Soul Guard in front of him. As a Holy Soul Guard in the Immortal Realm, if Lu Jin wanted to form a Holy Soul Guard in the future, the White Snake Holy Soul Guard would definitely be the leader. The Yamata no Orokai and the three-legged Golden Crow were instantly refined into demon souls. But he has the strength of the Immortal Realm and his talent. True Sun Fire, can release the true fire of the sun and burn everything. Immediately afterwards, 2 more Holy Soul Guards walked out of the Demon Soul Palace. Ding! Speed up the completion. Compared to the White Snake, the Yamata no Orokai and the three-legged Golden Crow are only at the saint level. Lu Jin took another look at the 2 monster beasts in the Monster Suppressing Pagoda. It seemed that this Holy Soul Guard would not let him down too much. In other words, any object she touches will become highly poisonous. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing White Snake. Lu Jin looked at the Holy Soul Guard in front of him and immediately chose to check the information of the woman in front of him. Name: White Snake. After all, demon souls in the Immortal Realm are not very easy to find. 8 element control. You can use 8 elements to fight. After she saw Lu Jin, the coldness in her eyes was replaced by enthusiasm. The bloodline is more than a little stronger than other monsters, so their talents are naturally powerful. This sky poison body made Lu Jin to feel powerful. Accelerate. It's a military type. There was no pain at all and the walk was peaceful. But Yamata no Orokai and the three-legged Golden Crow also have their own talents. Army Holy Soul Guard. After all, the 2 previous ones were considered to be among the most famous demon saints. Loyalty 100, die loyal. Talent: Sky Poison Body, can attach poison to any substance. The higher the cultivation level, the stronger the effect of the attached poison. Refining. The talents of the 2 Holy Soul Guards are definitely powerful. Something. White Snake Holy Soul Guard, I have met your majesty. Such abilities, if used on the battlefield, would be extremely difficult to guard against. In the smoke, a woman with snake eyes and a dangerous aura walked out of the Demon Soul Palace. Realm: Immortal Realm. And just when Lu Jin was about to instruct them on their next task, the familiar system prompt sounded again in Lu Jin's ears. The next second, a pure white smoke filled the Demon Soul Palace. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 217. Colorful Holy Treasure Chest. Unexpectedly, there was an unexpected surprise. However, Lu Jin does not plan to open this treasure box immediately. He put this colorful holy treasure box into his backpack space. Then, he looked at the white snake holy soul guard and gave the first order. Next, I will give you a task. Upon hearing that there was a mission, the white snake holy soul guard responded immediately. They know very well that their value can only be reflected by completing tasks. They were assigned tasks right after they were born, which is enough to show that Lu Jin attaches great importance to them. Please give the order, Your Majesty, and we will complete the mission perfectly. Lu Jin looked at the white snake holy soul guard and said nothing. But then, he summoned his god puppet from the backpack space. When the god puppet appeared, the white snake holy soul guard and the other two saint soul guards couldn't help but focus on the god puppet. This thing actually has the same aura as Lu Jin's, just like a clone. This thing is a puppet I refined. Next, I will control the puppet and take it to the Demon Suppression Pagoda to go to Demon Tang with you. Your mission is very simple, that is to find the Demon Saint level existence in the Demon Tang territory. After severely injuring the Demon Saint, I will use the Demon Suppressing Pagoda to suppress it. Understood. After activating the god puppet, Lu Jin handed the Demon Suppressing Pagoda to the god puppet. After the god puppet took over the Demon Suppressing Pagoda, he immediately led the Holy Soul Guard towards the Demon Tang direction. After the Holy Soul Guard disappeared from his sight, Lu Jin took out the activity order. Activity order. This is a good thing. I don't know what kind of activities I will get this time. Ding, do you want to use the activity order? Yes. Immediately afterwards, a panel appeared in front of Lu Jin. The panels began to change. Eventually, all data on the panel stopped, and a brand new active panel appeared in front of him. Event name 100 Demons in Chaos. Event difficulty Hell level. Event details during the event, various great demons will appear one after another in the activity area. The strength of the great demons varies, with the lowest being a saint level great demon. Kill the big monster to get excellent resources and rewards. Hell level activity. When Lu Jin saw the difficulty of this activity, a glint flashed in his eyes. You know, the original activities caused a lot of monsters to spawn in Longhan. Although these active monsters will give the Lord a lot of resources after killing them. But their existence will also bring trouble to the people around them. Lu Jin was just a lord in the past, and the sage was still there, so Lu Jin didn't care. But now Shen Han has been annexed by himself. If he started activities in Longhan, wouldn't he be shooting himself in the foot? Moreover, this event is a hell level event. The most rewarding, but also the most dangerous activity. Moreover, the details of the event were also mentioned. The monsters that are spawned are at the saint level at the very least. Although he is now a demigod and can kill the demon saint instantly, he is not sure how the system will be refreshed. If 100 saint level monsters were spawned in one breath, even he would be unable to deal with them all in a short period of time. At this moment, the system's voice sounded in Lu Jin's ears. Ding, Lord, please choose the area where the event will come as soon as possible. What's the meaning? Choose an event area? Answer, now that the Lord is the ruler of a region, you can choose any region as the event area. Good guy. Is there such a benefit? In this case, Lu Jin is no longer polite. Exactly, aren't there many monsters in Yaotang? This is such a great blessing, Lord Demon Tang, just accept it. Choose the area where you will come, Yaotang. Ding, the event arrival area has been selected. System announcement, the 100 Demons in Chaos event has officially started in the Yaotang area. Lords from other areas can enter the Yaotang area to seek opportunities. Seeing the system notification, the corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly. Fortunately, he had already sent the Holy Soul Guard to Yaotang in advance. It is estimated that we have reached the border of Yaotang now. The puppet god Lu Jin came to Shenhaiguan with the demon suppressing pagoda, and behind him were the White Snake Holy Soul Guard, the Yamata no Orakai Holy Soul Guard and the three-legged Golden Crow Holy Soul Guard. The four of them were preparing to go to Yeotang through Shanhaiguan. But at this moment, sand and rocks were flying, and a sandstorm blew up at the border for no reason. During the sandstorm, a huge sand scorpion crawled out of the ground. Seeing this sand scorpion, Lu Jing couldn't help but chuckle. The system is quite efficient. As soon as he started moving his front legs, the next second a monster appeared in front of him. The defenders on the city wall suddenly became vigilant when they saw such a huge monster. Such a terrifying pressure, I'm afraid it's a demon saint in the saint realm. Existences at the level of demon saints are not something that first-grade warriors like us can deal with. Go and tell the commander that a demon saint has appeared. But before the defenders could go to notify the Shanhaiguan border army commander, the Golden Crow Holy Soul Guard behind Lu Jin took the initiative to stand up. Your Majesty, let me handle the sand scorpion. Before he finished speaking, the White Snake Holy Soul Guard snorted coldly, and stared at the Golden Crow Holy Soul Guard with a pair of snake eyes. As the leader of the Holy Soul Guard, she dared to stand up earlier than herself before she had time to show herself in front of Lu Jin. Seeing the look in the White Snake Holy Soul Guard's eyes, the Golden Crow Holy Soul Guard immediately retreated. Lu Jin glanced at Sand Scorpion and said at the same time, "We don't have time to waste on this little demon saint. White Snake, go ahead and remember to solve it quickly." After Lu Jin gave the order, White Snake immediately understood. She took a step forward and landed in front of Sand Scorpion. When the Sand Scorpion saw the White Snake, it didn't care at first, but soon, it felt the aura of the same monster in the White Snake. Huh? You are also a monster, why did you turn into a human? Humph, even a mere demon saint deserves to know my name. With a wave of his hand, White Snake drew a sharp blade. The sharp blade contained true energy and ran straight towards the Sand Scorpion. The Sand Scorpion was even more disdainful. He waved his tail and directly dispersed the sharp blade of chi issued by the White Snake. The sharp blade of Genkai was scattered, and Sand Scorpion sneered. That's it? I thought you were some kind of big monster, but it turns out you're nothing more than that. But just as Sand Scorpion was mocking, a strange smile appeared on the corner of White Snake's mouth. Sand Scorpion couldn't help but get angry when he saw this. What are you laughing at? I'm laughing at you for not knowing whether to live or die. Suddenly, the Sand Scorpion felt a sharp pain in its tail. It looked back and saw that its tail had turned into jet black. It can't feel the existence of its scorpion tail, and violent toxins are flowing crazily in its body. Sand Scorpion's eyes widened and he couldn't believe it. When? Suddenly, it seemed to think of something. I just used the scorpion tail to disperse that guy's infuriating blade. Could it be that? Infuriating and poisonous. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 218. Boom. It didn't take long for the Sand Scorpion's huge body to be eroded by poison. Sand Scorpion fell directly to the ground, his whole body weak. The originally tawny skin was now stained with a layer of jet black. Seeing this, White Snake took a step forward, his eyes filled with amusement. A mere demon saint dares to be arrogant in front of me. But don't worry, your life won't be ended that easily. Your Majesty, your life is still useful. Saying that, White Snake touched Sand Scorpion. In an instant, the poison on the Sand Scorpion disappeared without a trace, as if it had never existed before. But only the victim Sand Scorpion knew that its internal organs had been corroded by toxins. It is now in a moribund state. At this time, the god puppet Lu Jin took a step forward and directly used the demon-suppressing pagoda to suppress the Sand Scorpion, and then refined it into a demon soul. The moment the Sand Scorpion was refined into a demon soul, a system notification sounded in Lu Jin's ears. Ding, Congratulations on successfully killing the yellow scorpion monkey king. Here's your reward, a golden legendary yellow sand treasure chest, golden legendary resource gift pack, 1 recruitment order for 10,000 soldiers. Good guy. After seeing these rewards, Lu Jing couldn't help but smile. It is indeed a hell-level activity. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. Killing a demon saint will not only reward you with a treasure box and a gift bag, but you will even be rewarded with a recruitment order. This made Lu Jing change his mind. He wanted to kill those moving monsters first, so that he could get a lot of rewards. Lu Jing touched his chin, and after thinking for a moment, he decisively informed Yaotang's black guards, asking them to pay attention to whether there were high-level monsters in Yaotang. Soon, a large amount of information fell into Lu Jing's hands like snowflakes. Looking at the information in his hand, Lu Jing couldn't help but sigh. So much. Reporting to your majesty, the territory of Yaotang is in chaos today. You must know that there are many sleeping demon saints and demon immortals in the Demon Tang dynasty. But for some special reason, these demon saints and demons are all in a deep sleep state. In this state, as long as there is no life or death crisis, it will be difficult for them to wake up. And because of this state, Yaotang was able to be established safely and soundly. Even if someone discovers the sleeping demon saints and immortals, these demon saints and immortals will not wake up. The Yaotang royal family can even draw the blood of these demon saints and immortals to study various elixirs and props. To the demon saint and demon immortal, the practitioners of Demon Tang are nothing more than a group of little bugs. Drawing blood is just a mosquito biting them, they don't care at all. But recently, a large number of beings at the level of demon saints and demon immortals suddenly descended on Yaotang. The demon saints and immortals who were sleeping before noticed that other demon saints and immortals entered their territory. If they continued to sleep, they would really die in their sleep. Therefore, these demon saints and immortals suddenly appeared and awakened the previously sleeping demon saints and immortals. The current Demon Tang dynasty can be described as a group of demons dancing wildly. Even monsters that surpass the first level realm can only be regarded as creatures at the bottom of the food chain. The entire Demon Tang dynasty is full of dangers. Now maybe a demon saint or demon immortal will suddenly emerge from that mountain range. Therefore, it is not easy to find and hunt demon saints and demons. After hearing Blackguard's explanation, the corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly. The activities of this chaotic world of monsters would probably not cause such a violent reaction in any area. It seems that my original decision was correct. And just as Lu Jin expected, at this moment in the Demon Tang court, the Demon Tang king was angry. Trash. They are all a bunch of trash. Nowadays, demons are rampant in the Demon Tang dynasty. If I ask you to come up with a solution, none of your civil and military officials can come up with one. I don't know what the meaning of your existence is. The Demon King of Tang Dynasty is angry. But facing the wrath of the Demon King of Tang Dynasty, all the civil and military officials huddled on the ground, not daring to say anything. They couldn't help but curse secretly in their hearts. Solve. Now across the country, there are dozens of demon saints recorded in statistics alone. Among them are 5 terrifying monsters at the level of monsters. Most of them are just warriors, let them deal with these demon saints? Are you kidding me? They went to give people their heads, but people thought they didn't think it was enough to fill the gap between their teeth. But they are disdainful, so what can they do? Seeing that all the civil and military officials were silent, Monarch Tang suddenly calmed down. No news yet from General Li. Silence, deafening silence again. The Demon King of Tang Dynasty probably already knew this in his heart. There was no news about Li Jing and his 200,000 troops, and there was also no news about Guo Ziyi. Even Xuerongui, the white snake he sent there, had no news back. Now that the big demon is rampant, even if I go to investigate, it will be difficult to find anything. He can only accept this reality. Li Jing and others have most likely encountered Long Han's ambush, and they will end up with the same outcome as the previous 100,000 strong army. The Demon King of Tang took a deep breath and finally sighed. I was wrong. The eyes of all the civil and military officials widened. The Demon King of the Tang dynasty actually took the initiative to admit his mistake. This is a rare thing. One of the civil servants immediately stood up and flattered him. Your Majesty, what's wrong with you? The monster is rampant. It's all those beasts' fault. No. King Yao Tang interrupted him and continued. From the very beginning, I thought that Long Han was just a foreign country and not something to be afraid of. Shan Haiguan was captured, but I still don't care. 100,000 troops were destroyed, but I still don't care. Now, there is no news about General Li and the 200,000 elites. I am afraid they have been annihilated by Long Han. I was wrong, I should not underestimate the potential of the alien lord. As soon as he finished speaking, Monarch Tang looked at the civil and military officials on the stage. He raised his hand and pointed at the civil servant who had just flattered him. You are only flattering. The Demon Tang used to need you, but the Demon Tang doesn't need you now. What? Before the civil servant could react, a black shadow suddenly appeared behind him. A long sword in the black shadow's hand penetrated directly through the chest of the civil servant. When other officials saw this, their eyes widened. Before they could react, a sharp blade was pressed against their backs. Your Majesty, what does this mean? Today's Yao Tang has reached a critical moment of survival. I need stronger civil and military officials, so you need to die. Only after you die can they replace you. Them. Before the civil and military officials could react, the sharp blade entered his body. In an instant, the entire court was filled with the strong smell of blood. The Demon King of Tang dynasty sat on the dragon throne and looked at everything in front of him with indifference. It's time to return, my loyal old subjects. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 219. The Demon King of Tang Dynasty mobilized his true energy. In an instant, wisps of fluorescent runes appeared on the entire court floor. Without exception, all the corpses of civil and military officials were absorbed by the runes on the ground. The corpse also began to shrivel up, and eventually turned into a wisp of fly ash and disappeared in place. Within a few breaths, the entire court no longer looked like there had been any massacre. Lord Yao Tang breathed a long sigh of relief. He did not expect that he would use his biggest trump card so soon. He thought that he would at least wait until later, when he encountered other century-old lords, before he would use these old ministers. But he didn't expect that a new dynasty of aliens would force him to such an extent. Looking at the many dead soldiers in the audience, Lord Yao Tang waved his hand and motioned for them to retreat. And he returned to his palace and came to the secret room again. At this moment, Lu Jin didn't know that he had already forced the Demon Tang King into a desperate situation. He was in the time and space palace. Looking at the treasure boxes he obtained in his backpack, Lu Jin decided to digest these treasure boxes first. The first is the colorful holy treasure chest that I obtained. The only 7-color sacred treasure chest, I wonder if it can bring out anything good. Lu Jin decisively chose to open the colorful treasure chest. Ding, do you want to open the colorful holy treasure chest? Open. Ding, congratulations on your success in obtaining the colorful holy level prop sudden enlightenment pill. Ding, congratulations on your successful acquisition of the colorful holy grade material pure yang iron. Ding, congratulations on your successful acquisition of the colorful holy level book 300 Tang poems. Something's wrong. 12 out of 10 things are wrong. What is the situation of these 300 Tang poems? Or a colorful saint-level book? Lu Jin immediately took out 300 Tang poems from his backpack. When he saw the attributes of 300 Tang poems, he immediately said that he was shallow. Sure enough, the products produced by the system must be high quality. Name 300 Tang poems. Quality colorful holy products. Effect. The reading level reaches the first glimpse of the door and acquires the literary spirit. The reading level reaches gradually getting better and acquires the breath of Confucian sage. The reading level reaches a little success and the ability to speak according to the law is acquired. If you reach a minor level in reading, you can learn the heaven-defying spell of verbal spells. When Lu Jin saw this, he understood. This book of 300 Tang poems is a completely magical book. After putting the 300 Tang poems back into his backpack, Lu Jin focused on the immediate enlightenment pill. He clearly remembered that he had obtained an instant saint pill, and since then, he had soared into the sky. Now, I have obtained another immediate enlightenment pill. Lu Jin took one look and immediately understood the properties of the pill. After reading it, he understood. Why is this elixir of the 7-color holy grade? Name sudden enlightenment pill. Quality colorful holy products. Effect after taking it, any skill will be upgraded to the highest level. Advance to the highest level. Although Lu Jin didn't know what the highest level was. But since it is a 7-color holy level elixir, it must not be ordinary. Unfortunately, improving skills is random. If possible, Lu Jin would like to upgrade his Divine Thunder technique to the highest level. When the time comes, even if you encounter a god, you will be able to gather the Divine Thunder to kill him. Thinking of this, Lu Jin directly took the enlightenment pill. Nowadays, Lu Jingguang has hundreds of skills at his disposal, and he still doesn't know which skill he will get randomly. I can only let it happen. Ding, your god puppet technique has been upgraded to the highest level. Lu Jin couldn't help but frown slightly when he heard the system prompt. The art of divine puppet? I didn't expect it to be this skill. The next second, a large number of memories poured into Lu Jin's mind. The king of Yaotang, who is far away in Yaotang's secret room, is preparing to summon all his old ministers. But at this moment, he glanced at the picture erratically. It was incredible to see that, on Longhan's territory, another dazzling star actually lit up. Such a phenomenon can only mean that another god was born in Longhan. Just right? Didn't you just get a 7-color holy grade material? Lu Jin thought that if the divine puppet technique was upgraded to the highest level, he would be able to create some powerful puppets at most. At this moment, Lu Jin was even more surprised. Next to his supreme godhead, another godhead actually appeared. Almost instantly, the divine power surged directly towards the god puppet like opening a floodgate and releasing water. But this time, Lu Jin was even more skillful, as if he already had 10,000 years of experience. Quality the only god level. The art of divine puppetry has been upgraded to the highest level, and it turns out to be the legendary art of creation. Lu Jin placed his eyes on the godhead, and the attributes of the godhead immediately appeared in front of Lu Jin. The art of divine puppetry emerges. Effect 3 God puppet, created using divine power and god-level materials, the puppet you create can compete with gods. When everything was ready, Lu Jin directly used his divine power to ignite the materials. Could it be that being promoted to the highest level means being promoted to the god level? Boom. In this case, he will experiment to see how far his current divine puppetry skills have reached. Name Creator Godhead. The main materials and divine power for forging the god puppet, Lu Jin chose to use divine power this time. Lu Jin was surprised for a while. He didn't expect that his divine power was so powerful. If this is really the case, this immediate enlightenment pill is more powerful than I imagined. But it turns out that I still underestimated the potential of the God puppet technique. Even, this Godhead contributes a bit of divine power to the Supreme Godhead from time to time, just like a younger brother. At this moment, this Godhead is like a satellite, hovering around the Supreme Godhead. Just do what he said. Lu Jin immediately chose to end the retreat and return to Longhan Hall. Lu Jin suddenly recalled the previous system prompt. Compared with the Supreme Godhead, this Godhead is not even a tiny bit small. How come I have another Godhead? Effect 1 Creation. Using divine power and any element, you can create puppets with different attributes and realms. On weekdays, he was busy practicing, and the Supreme Godhead automatically transformed into divine power. He did not expect that his reserve of divine power had reached such a terrifying level. Go ahead and ask Zhangji to bring some of the most precious medicinal herbs in the garden. Creator Godhead. Effect 2 Spiritualization. You can use divine power to sublimate all things and let them gain wisdom in advance. At the same time, Lu Jin called Oyu's Haizi and brought some materials from the blacksmith shop. He moves the Supreme Godhead and the Creator Godhead. Lu Jin looked at the attribute panel of the Creator Godhead with a smile on his face. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 220. Colorful saint-level materials, coupled with Lu Jin's majestic divine power. The divine power is absorbed, and the outline of the divine puppet becomes clearer and clearer. Finally, just when Lu Jin felt a little tired, the god puppet was finally refined. In an instant, the rays of light soared into the sky, and a faint coercion enveloped the entire Qianlong city. The guards of Qianlong city immediately noticed this pressure. But when they saw the source of the pressure, they immediately reacted. It's such a powerful pressure. Just standing here makes me feel heart palpitations. This is Qianlong city, anything can happen. It's so coercive, but His Majesty breaks through again. No, the pressure when His Majesty broke through was even more terrifying. Even General Moribuledin and others were shocked. I remember that Your Majesty collected a lot of materials some time ago. Could it be that a divine weapon came to the world? The arrival of a divine weapon into the world is indeed true for Lu Jin. Looking at the completed new god puppet in front of him, Lu Jin once again used the divine power of creation to directly grant spiritual intelligence to the god puppet. In an instant, the god puppet opened his eyes, and the divine power contained in his body exuded an astonishing aura. But just for a moment, the god puppet gathered all the divine power into his body. The god puppet looked at Lu Jin, then knelt down on one knee and knelt directly towards Lu Jin. Dragon Armor, I have met His Majesty. Dragon Armor was naturally the name Lu Jin gave this god figure. This god puppet was created by himself using the Godhead of creation and has an independent personality and spirituality. It is different from the god puppet that Lu Jin refined before. Even if Lu Jin doesn't control it, it will act according to its own ideas. It's not so much a puppet as it is a living stand-in. Lu Jin can control its behavior. If it loses consciousness, it will not stop, but will use its original personality to act. Good. Lu Jin is very satisfied with the god puppet he has now refined. In addition to its greatly improved flexibility, the upper limit of this divine puppet has also been increased. Today's dragon armor, its peak strength can reach the divine human realm. A puppet in the realm of gods and humans, Lu Jin looked at the dragon armor in front of him and nodded with satisfaction. At this time, Lu Jin suddenly frowned slightly. Because he discovered that White Snake actually encountered a demon-level existence. After several days of hunting in the territory of Yaotang, this is the first time I have encountered a monster-level existence. Finally, my hard work has paid off. Lu Jin immediately refocused his attention on the god puppet. Through the sight of the god puppet, Lu Jin saw a huge mountain-like thing in the distance. He is a demon-level being with immortal-level strength. It has a huge body, with the tail of a tiger, the body of a lion, and a hideous face like a ghost. There is also a pair of huge wings growing on its back, and when the wings are spread out, it will fly sand and rocks. Whitesnake took one look and immediately recognized the monster in front of him. It's a liger in the immortal realm. At this moment, the liger beast has not discovered the existence of Lu Jin and others. It was looking at a monster with a playful expression, and this monster was just a first-level monster. When the demonic beast saw such a huge liger beast, still exuding the coercion of the immortal realm, let alone running away, its limbs became so weak that it almost collapsed on the ground. Ha ha ha, you Junior is so timid. Don't worry, I am a great demon in the immortal realm. How can I argue with a junior like you? Tell me, what happened in this world recently? Why are there so many strange monsters? In order to avoid natural disasters, I slept and faked my death. There were not so many big monsters at that time. How come there are so many big demons when I wake up? Lu Jin in the distance couldn't help but touch his chin when he heard these words. Natural disaster? Sleeping and feigning death? It seems that this demon fairy is a local demon beast in Yaotang, not an active demon beast. Since it was not a moving monster, Lu Jin's interest in it was greatly reduced. But although Lu Jin was not interested in the liger itself, he was very interested in what the liger said. Just when the White Snake Saint Soul Guard was about to take action, the liger said something that made Lu Jin very concerned. So many big monsters appeared out of nowhere. I thought it was those guys from heaven who were up to something else. Junior, I know everything you need to know, you can leave. Liger looked at the monster in front of him, and the monster looked surprised. The weak are food for the strong. As the saying goes, if you know your enemy and your ally, you will never be in danger, so you should collect information about heaven in advance. It was originally prepared to become a meal on the plate, but it was unexpected that it could escape death. The liger licked its tongue and showed an extremely cunning smile. A mere ant is worthy of negotiating terms with me. But one thing he knows very well is that he is getting stronger and stronger, and sooner or later he will face heaven. It never expected that the liger would actually let it go. This demon fairy, I have never met you before. Why did you fight me as soon as we met? And now the liger beast is in the sandstorm, constantly thinking about whether there is such a thing as the white snake among the monsters it has offended. The huge pressure of infuriating energy envelopes the sand and rocks, instantly forming a sandstorm to envelop itself in it. You know, for monsters, there is no brotherhood, the weak eat the strong. The sound of ligers came from the yellow sand. Do it? Unfortunately, when she looked around, all she saw was a long stretch of yellow sand. This is nature's way of preying on the weak. That monster actually thought that the liger would let him go. Fairy. Naturally, the beast form is more effective in combat. But the liger is an old monster after all, and it directly releases its true energy and pressure. Seeing this scene, Lu Jin couldn't help but shake his head. What's the situation? The pressure is released, and the pressure of the immortal realm directly envelops the liger. But the demon fairy in front of me is a killer move when he meets him. For monsters, although they can take the form of humans, their beast form is more suitable for fighting. At this moment, the monster seemed to gain strength and immediately ran towards the distance. Although the human form is flexible, it is not very adaptable after all. The liger's expression suddenly changed. The white snake Saint Soul Guard couldn't hold it any longer and rushed out immediately. When the word heaven appeared, Lu Jin knew that he could never let go of this liger. But at this time, White Snake has no time to let it continue to think. But the next second, the liger swallowed it in one gulp. But Lu Jin just sighed in his heart. What he cared about most was the heaven mentioned by the liger. I still know very little about heaven. Losing his vision, White Snake also stood there and looked around. And why does it fight in human form? The liger was also puzzled. He knew all the demons he had offended.